Hello, how to set up with Smart Highlight Setup. This is a quick way of just highlighting certain texts on a PDF to extract the data in PDF Data Extractor. Now to get started, all you do is for example, I'm going to load this invoice example into the software and then I'm going to click Setup, Smart Highlight Setup. Now I come with this window because this PDF currently doesn't have any setup on it, anything highlighted. So click OK to that. So this is the PDF, it's just some invoices. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set it to extract the address, the whole address block, and the invoice number and the date. So to do this, you just highlight it, press the pen highlighter, or you can do it from up here to highlight. Press that so it's highlighted. I'm going to do it right mouse, properties, general, and in the subject I'm going to put address. Now what the software does, it picks up the highlighted text and it looks at the subject field, and because it says address, it knows that it's an address block, and it will format that when you process it into a CSV file. So I'm going to now highlight the invoice number. Same. Right mouse, properties. Now you can call this anything you want. So it doesn't need any special formatting. So I'm going to put invoice number. Okay. So I'm going to do the date. So I'm going to call it invoice date as well. So I'm going to right mouse on it. Subject. Invoice date. Okay, so that's now all set up now. So I'm going to close Adobe Reader to make it save it. So yeah, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it under the same file name, but you can save it under a different file name if you want to. So that's now finished now. So I'm going to click on Setup again. Smart Highlighter Setup. It says 3 added. Click Process to process the PDF file. So you can see here it's put in the setup for the highlighted text. So now I'm going to click Process. So I've got 9 pages in this PDF, so it's output 9 lines. So you can see that it's extracted the address, the invoice number, and the invoice date as in the PDF file. Now I do have couple of other things which are set in the setup extra fields. You can put the file title, source PDF link and things like that if you want to. You can also remove those, and then if you go into setup header, you can remove those from the header, and then when you click process again, those 2 fields will be removed. You just got address, invoice number and invoice date. Now one little problem with this particular PDF is that it's a page range for each invoice, so it's the same invoice number for like page 1, 2, 3, because they are actually the same invoice. So what you can do, you can put a rule on that. So I'm going to scroll up and look for page. So page 1, so I'm going to put a rule condition HV match, so it has to be that position match. I'm going to close that down. Now if I click process now, it should only output the first page of each invoice data. So you can see now I've got invoice number 1, 2, 3, 4 extracted, and just the address from those pages and the invoice date. And that's how you use the Smart Setup. Now you can add more to it later if you want to. You can just right mouse and set rules on anything you want, or output anything you want. Or if you want to do highlight again, what I would advise doing is removing these So highlight and press delete key, then going to view PDF, then highlight the extra bits that you want or remove any. If you right mouse on it, you can remove by clicking delete, and then resave it, and then go into setup, smart highlighter setup, and it will include that as from scratch, so it's like a new file. And that's how you use Smart Setup. Give it a try.